With 48 episodes done for 2013 and only 4 weeks off, we've got a big 2013 full of YFE chats. Tonight we just pulled a few takeaways for you to review, but hopefully you'll get a chance to go over to youtube.com/YF Entrepreneur and check out all of our past episodes, especially the ones that we mentioned tonight. So my guest tonight is at the Stacey Harris. She's my co-host for YFE Chat, and we're going to be talking about all of this, some headlines, and a lot of other cool things that's coming down the pipeline for YFE. Make sure that you stay tuned, use the hashtag YFE Chat, and check in on the chat on YFElive.com. Hi everyone, this is Jennifer Donogh. I'm your host for YFE Chat Live, the live stream that happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern here on YFElive.com. Tonight's episode 92, is brought to you by Ovaline TV. Ovaline believes in building community through shared experiences. We produce professional live webcasts that bring tribes together. And by MailChimp. MailChimp is the best way to design, send, and share email newsletters. You can get started today at MailChimp.com for free. Speaking of MailChimp, did you guys know that there's a MailChimp app that lets you edit emails from your iPad? I got so excited by that today. For some reason last night or a couple nights ago, I was editing emails on my iPad in my bed, and I was like, there's got to be something that I can do that's not on a browser, and there is. I googled it, and there's an iPad app. I don't know why I didn't know that, but it's awesome. So you can get our mailing list at yfe.me, or get on our mailing list at yfe.me/mailed it, and that's the best way to stay in the loop with everything YFE, because next week we're taking the entire week off from everything YFE. Well, not everything. Well, I mean, like, we're still doing some stuff, but not no like live videos, because we're retooling. We've actually got a number of things that are happening in our studio. 2013 was a really big year for Ovaline TV. We've got a huge amount of upgrades from the beginning of the year, but we're getting a couple new pieces of hardware, some new fun stuff, and then we're going to be retooling the look and feel of GenCast, the live daily webcast, and also YFE Chat Live, the weekly one that I was just talking about at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. So tonight's show is all about 2013 and the takeaways that we got from our featured guests. And to talk about that with me is, of course, our lovely co-host at the Stacey Harris. Can we bring back on Stacey? Make sure she's unmuted. Hi, Stacey.
Hi, guys. Hi, Jen.
I'm excited to have you on as like a bona fide co-host tonight, because usually you're my co-host in like the first 5 minutes or so, and then you're the co-host on Twitter in the sense that you are the voice of YFE for the entire 30 minutes, and it'll be interesting to see what we can do with this in 2014.
I always really love when I get to come on and like actually hang out with you for the whole 30 minutes. I think we have fun. Sometimes we get a little misguided, but we're going to stay on track tonight. I have a feeling.
I really hope so.
I think your date probably hopes so too.
Right? I know. So for those of you that don't know, I do have a date night tonight. And another thing that was mentioned with my husband, not with my boyfriend, with my husband. And and another thing that we mentioned before we started recording in the live piece was a piece of information about you and what you're doing in the new year. So maybe as a segue into that link that you were talking about, you could tell people a little bit about who at the Stacey Harris is.
The link that I was talking about. Oh, okay. I'm with you now. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I am at the Stacey Harris. That's who that is. And I am doing a live show with Corey Freeman, who's in the chat and every week and is fantastic. She's at Corey Freeman on Twitter. And we are doing a live show starting January 15th called Entrepreneur's Happy Hour. And we would love it. I would love it. I don't know if she would, but I would love it if you guys could go to our Facebook page and give us a little support before the show starts. It's facebook.com/ehappyhour. When we get to 500 likes, Corey is going to wear a fabulous pink wig and pretend to be me. So you definitely don't want to miss that.
I know that actually that's enough motivation for me to go over to your Facebook page and like it. I don't like seek out that stuff ever, like to go on in Facebook because I try and avoid Facebook at all costs. But that would make me do it. That's a good idea. So Stacey, apart from the show that you do, just to give some people some context behind who you are, if you're just starting to watch YFE Chat for the first time on this episode,
this is the best episode to start with.
Right? It's a nice little summary of everything. I just watched Larry King's Best of 2013 for Larry King. What's his new show? Larry King Now. I forget what
the one on Hulu?
The one on Hulu. If you guys haven't watched it yet, it is fantastic. You need to watch it. But anyway, and I got really pumped for tonight's episode. Ours is not as fancy as his, but at the same time, still very cool.
Did Larry King have champagne? No, he didn't.
Oh, I have,
I can't see you right now, but I can hear you, and that was awesome.
Yes, good for all the audio subscribers, which there has been a big boost of lately, which I think it has something to do with you, Stacey, because I don't ever market the audio part for iTunes. I just let it come up. And then since you're doing the podcast for Stacey Rock the Mic, Hit the Mic, Stacey Harris, I've just seen a little bit of a boost. But anyway, what were we talking about? Who are you? What are you? Tell us more about who Stacey is.
Stacey is me again. I am a social media strategist. Basically, I help small businesses build a social media strategy that makes them successful. So instead of just throwing stuff at the internet and hoping that it's awesome, we actually make it awesome. I also shift entrepreneurs from sort of haphazardly marketing to strategically networking. Also, I'm the host of a podcast, Hit the Mic with Stacey Harris. It happens every Tuesday and Thursday. You guys can find those episodes at youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com or at my website, thestaceyharris.com. And I talk about being an online entrepreneur. I talk about social media, and I also interview a ton of really amazing entrepreneurs. Several are YFEs, right, in this very community. Also, I'm like married and I have a kid and stuff like that. I also drink champagne. I'm a very well-rounded individual.
Well, my drink of choice tonight is, I put it on Instagram, and I'm surprised so many people don't know about dry soda, but it's a lavender flavor. And dry soda, Stacey, have you heard of it?
I have not, but I saw it. I was looking at it after I saw it. You posted it on Instagram.
Yeah, it's a Seattle company, and it's founded by a female. And I saw her speak at a Crave event in Seattle, and I thought she was really fantastic. Obviously, the company is not a small business anymore. It's a very large company with all sorts of interesting facets to it. But I really enjoyed chatting with her. And highly recommend everyone look at her episode, or not at her episode, but at her company and find out more about her. I forget where I was going with that. Other than that, I was excited that I had a fun drink.
I think that was pretty much it.
Oh, I had a fun drink because I'm pregnant. I'm not drinking any alcohol.
This just in.
I don't know where my mind is. I promise this episode is going to get better. Stick with us. All right.
I think it's awesome already.
Okay, good. I was looking at the chat too while you were doing your bio, and it's funny. At Turnip Seeds is talking about Corey Freeman if she's legal enough to host a happy hour chat, and Corey says she's been legal for long enough.
I like how Chrissy said she loves when Stacey is the co-host and loves the Hot Topic episodes too. Hopefully we have more of those in 2014. I just wanted to point that one out for, random reasons.
So Stacey, a couple of cool things that I want to mention before we get into the takeaways were the action calendar. Yes. YFE has a daily action calendar. If you go to dailyactioncalendar.com, you can grab this daily action and do it. Use YFE action as the hashtag. And it's just a way to meet other young female entrepreneurs that are doing the same thing as you and hopefully inspire you to just do different things within your business. And tomorrow's action is to list out 3 things to start doing, 3 things to stop doing, and 3 things to do more of. Have you heard me talk about this, Stacey?
Sure.
So this was an article from a long time ago, and I'm going to write a blog post about it tomorrow on youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com. But this is something we did within our web hosting company. When we were rebranding, we sat down at a table, and there's an article in Entrepreneur Magazine, which since then has been taken offline. There's no way to find it.
That's strange.
It was amazing piece of advice, though, where we all sat around and we talked about 3 things to stop doing, 3 things to do more of, and 3 things to start doing. And we still use that in our our daily exercise rather than just a straight on to-do list.
I like that. And this is the perfect time of year to do it, when you're sort of laying out your next year. Look at what you want to change for next year. Look at what's working and not working currently before just throwing out new stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not too many things, Corey. It's actually a perfect amount of things. And I love that it includes things to stop doing.
Yes.
So as far as things that we want to do more of, we want to see more of Stacey Harris, and we want to see more of all the things that she loves. And one of the things Stacey Harris loves, I'm talking about you like you're not here.
I like it. It's because I'm the Stacey Harris.
Yeah, is Gary Vaynerchuk. So Bootstrap Book Club, I asked you guys to like an image, and we were 7 likes away. And so I used some of the likes from outside, because it's kind of confusing, when you link to a picture from other posts, people like the post that you're talking about, but they don't go over to click on it. So anyway, taking those into account, we had over 50 likes on Jab, 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 Right Hook, and at the Stacey Harris is going to tell us whether or not we're reading it.
We're totally reading it. I'm super excited. And I swear I didn't bully anyone into liking it.
Maybe a little. So
well, that's how we got Thank You Economy too.
I know.
Like a one-woman Gary Vaynerchuk YFE bandwagon.
So if you go to Bootstrap Book Club on Facebook, you can search for it, or go to yfe.me/find me in the club. You can join it. I'd really love for everyone to get involved in this book. It's in January. It's like I was telling Stacey, he's very polarizing. You either really like him or you don't like him, I think. I don't think there's anyone that's really in the middle, which we're going to talk about that in shortly with our takeaways. But
yeah.
I don't know. We were just talking about it before, and there's another little thing about Gary Vaynerchuk we're going to pull in. I'm trying not to make this a total Gary Vaynerchuk episode, but it might become one.
You bring up Gary V and I'm here becomes sort of a Gary V show. Yeah, It's my fault. Just blame me.
Good, I will. So anyway, make sure that you join us in the club. I think in 2014, just retooling and rethinking everything, and just getting a little bit more creative. It's just going to make everything more fun in 2014. So anyway.
Who's hosting Jab, 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 Right Hook?
Why are you asking me that? I don't know.
I'm just asking. Who's hosting?
Well, we know that what our book is, and then we'll figure it out. Are you volunteering?
I would love to host it.
Okay. Maybe
you'll let me.
Maybe we'll make you do it.
More bullying is going to have to take place, clearly.
I love having other hosts. It's just a lot of work to manage other hosts. And it was so nice and it's not like it's not their fault. It's my fault. It's just another part to manage within YFE along with our city coordinators and everything. But with you, it's really nice because we already have a working relationship with YFE chat. Yeah. So I already know how to work with you versus other people.
You can say how to manage me.
I'm not going to say manage you, but it's just hard for yeah. Anyway, so let's get into our takeaways, Stacey, before we get too off topic. So a few of them that we're talking about, that we're not talking about tonight, that I wanted to bring up. So hopefully you guys will go over to youtube.com/YF Entrepreneur if YouTube's your way of consuming information, or you can go to iTunes and search for Young Female Entrepreneurs. But we've had some really big guests, and we were talking about this beforehand, Stacey, that, some of these I forgot we did this year.
Yeah.
Just in 2013, like I said, we've done 48 episodes with different people. And Mike McAllowitz of the Pumpkin Plan was on. He was featured. Jules and Christina interviewed him. It was really, really fantastic.
That was a Bootstrap Book Club book.
Mm-hmm, it was. And Wild Squirrel Nut Butter founders Erica and Keely, Carissa interviewed them. Derek Halpern of Social Triggers. He was interviewed by a YFE from Seattle. Allie Brown. I have to say, I know I've said this in a past episode, watch that episode. It's
super good.
She was pregnant, and if you know who Allie Brown is, she's like a marketing type person, right? She teaches people how to use the internet to market their businesses. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like people like that get a bad rap. And every once in a while, I'll go back and forth between whether or not I feel like she's genuine. And that episode, I just fell in love with her. First of all, her people were amazing to work with. I know I've said this a million times on here, but sometimes when you book guests, it can be difficult working with their people.
Yeah.
And her people were I asked if, they were okay taking questions, or she was taking questions from the chat, and they were just like, yes, anything. I sent over questions. I mean, great people, great women. I just watched it. Tori Johnson was another one. Chris Pirillo, Hello Flow founder, Nama Bloom. I loved that episode. I was so inspired by her because it was all just kind of like, I'm going to test it out and see if the market likes it, and people loved it. That's the Camp Gyno video. And
I like that she talked about that she was still like growing with her business. Like she was just kind of riding the wave, so to speak, and like figuring out her next step. Because I think so many of us do that, and that gets like hidden.
Well, and by the looks of it, her company looks large. I mean, it looks like she's been doing this for years. Her website's nice, it's streamlined, it's polished, and she was just very smart about everything. She knew what she was doing, and she even talked about how she was still going to Costco to buy supplies, even though her viral video hit 4 million, views at that time. And she's like, I'm going to go stock up on tampons at Costco and mail them out. Because she just didn't, she was just being smart about her business. And then Amanda Russell, who I've always been inspired by, she's someone that got involved with YFE very early on when we actually had an audio podcast. And I was looking at Throwback Thursday stuff, and I almost posted this, but YFE was actually, we had an audio podcast in 2010, I want to say. And that podcast ended up on New and Noteworthy on the main page of iTunes next to big episodes that are on TV.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome, and that helped YFE grow really fast, but she was one of the ones on the podcast early on. Very cool. So it was fun to have her back on. And then, of course, Erin Condren, who we're going to talk about shortly. So, Stacey, you picked some of your big takeaways. I've been able to do this in the past, and it was fun to hear what you pulled out of it. But one of the ones that you wanted to talk about was Cher Ross. Mm-hmm. So why did you pick her? Well, she's a
rock star, so I think it's kind of obvious that I was going to be drawn to her in some way.
It's like a kindred spirit or something.
Yeah, she's super awesome. I really like Cher Ross because I am really big whenever I teach anything or talk about anything I do, or people ask me how I've built my business or how I build my business now. I liked that she was talking about doing something that's so important, video, which is something I don't do nearly enough of outside of this show, really. That's it. That it didn't have to be crazy expensive. It didn't have to be this like production number, like huge scale, like Marie Forleo currently is, which she wasn't always, which is a great reminder. But she talked about really actionable stuff, which is, if you guys know, when I hosted Thank You Economy, I'm super big on actionable stuff. She was super actionable, and she was super like, this isn't intimidating. This is simple, and here are the steps to take.
Yeah, we pulled one of the clips from her that talks about just like what you were saying. So let's go ahead and play that, where she talks about sticky videos.
There's definitely a place for the well-produced professional videos. And then there's also a place for what I call the DIY video. Like I'm going to sit at my computer, I'm going to use my phone, I'm going to do something really fast that's in real time. It's reality. This is my life. This is what's going on. And the well-produced ones are great for what I call like sticky videos. Like say you have something that you want to be permanent on your website, or it's for, for training purposes, or it's for a launch. Things like that, you might want to go with a professional. You don't have to, but you might want to. The thing is, when you go to a professional studio to be filmed, the whole process is going to be so much better if you've been filming yourself doing all the DIY videos. And the DIY ones are great for, either in addition to or replacing your blog posts. In other words, the vlogging thing. And what I like to do with them, and what I see a lot of other entrepreneurs having success with, is giving out little pieces of information. And you just go, okay, you know what? I'm going to address this little thing, and I'm going to make a video about it, and so you're always giving out information, and it makes a connection. You're talking one-on-one to a person, even though it doesn't feel like it. You actually are, because one person is watching you on the other end, and hopefully that one person translates into thousands and hundreds of thousands.
So, I mean, there was so much more, like you were saying, that went into that. But, sorry, I'm trying to find the Gary Vaynerchuk's Facebook page. Do you know what the address for that is? Because I'm pulling that up for their next one.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's Facebook Gary V.
That's what I thought. But, so Cher Ross, definitely you guys check that out. But one of the ones that I wanted to pull up, and we won't pull the clip, but Chris Pirillo you picked out. Why did you pick Chris Pirillo? Was it just following the video theme?
Well, I did seem to have an affinity for video, didn't I? I really liked him because he said one of my favorite things, which is quality over quantity with numbers. He would rather
He says
really
that all over the
with somebody.
place. Yeah, I love
It's one
it.
of my favorite things.
Oh, he's just facebook.com/Gary, by the way.
Yeah, I just found it. I was going to tell you that, but I got distracted by Chris Pirillo.
Yeah,
It
but
happened.
I was really excited that you said that because he gives out so much advice. I love that you recognized him as a good guest. Because he's a little different. He's a little nerdy, and he's not necessarily one of the big names for young female entrepreneurs.
Well, I really liked, and thinking of things we could do more of in 2014, I liked the occasional guy guest personally. And I liked I like hearing about new people through the show. Like, I really like when I have no idea who the guest is because then I get to learn about them in their interview. But for him, I liked him because he was super cool, and he had the Wolverine hoodie, which I found to be really adorable. I don't know why. I have a nerdy husband. Maybe that's why. But yeah, quality over quantity is something I talk to my clients about all the time. I literally probably say that every day. So I loved that he said that. And also when he talked about the haters, not engaging them.
That's what I wanted to talk about. He actually had a quote, and Chris Pirillo, for those of you that don't know him, he's like, I forget what his tagline is, but it's something about being a geek. He's all about being a geek. He started off on, what was that channel called? Tech, the same one as Leo Laporte, Tech TV. And he, it went away, and he, just like Leo Laporte, turned to the internet and created his own little empire around Chris Pirillo. And it was he used Ustream to live stream out videos, and then he got into YouTube, and he ended up going from like shows that talked about tech reviews into actual vlogs. And there's a very large segment of people that watched him that were total haters about it and said, absolutely not. What are you doing, Chris? You're selling out. I don't know who this guy is. And they were very vocal about it. There's actual groups on Facebook that are Chris Pirillo haters.
That's lame.
Yeah, and so, but I loved what he said. There's a quote. It's, ambivalence is your biggest enemy when it comes to a business. And I like that. I mean, he said you really need to have people absolutely love you, or you want them to hate you. Anywhere in the middle, they're not going to take action, and it doesn't matter. They're just going to kind of be there. And those people don't matter. The people that matter are the people that absolutely love you. And he talked about when to engage your haters. So definitely check that episode out. It's episode 59. He gave us a lot of really great, like you were saying, actionable stuff to do too, as far as vlogging goes. Mm-hmm. And he talked about personal narratives and sharing who you are online and what attracts people to brands.
You attended his event, right?
I did.
Did you like it?
Yes. Yeah, I did. I mean, it was definitely something totally different than what I was expecting. It was in a good way. It was a huge eye-opener. We got there, and there was just thousands and thousands of teens and people in their early 20s that were huge fans of these YouTube stars. Huge fans.
That's
like
cool.
It was like a movie star walking into the building.
It was like the YouTube version of like Comic-Con.
Yeah, it was. Like, I don't know, it was just amazing.
Keeping it nice and nerdy here for you.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. People were dressed up. I mean, they got really into it. Cool. So anyway, it really just shows you the power of YouTube and the power of vlogging and how someone feels like they know you online. So, Stacey, you also pulled out Nicole Smartt, which is funny because it's amazing how many people email me because of Nicole. Like, they say, I loved her. Thank you so much for featuring her. This is my story. And they really related to her.
I think part of the reason I picked her, and this is going to sound lame, but I have since connected with her on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff. And I love talking to her. Like, she's just so cool. That I kind of picked her because of that. I hope that's okay.
Well, no, and I think that's totally fine. But one of the things that I wanted to pull out of it was that we asked her who her mentors were, which is a common thing we asked people this year. And she said one of the things that she learned from her mentor was that every problem lies an opportunity.
Yeah.
And that was how she's built Star Staffing, her company. She's won a number of awards, and it's really been in those hard moments that her clients realize how loyal and how dedicated she is to them. She used the words dedicated and loyal, and I really like that.
I also really liked something she said, which was that we're not vocal enough. We're, asking for what she wanted. She worked from the ground up by really taking action and asking for what she wanted and being really clear about what her intentions were all the way. She is completely self-made, and I think that's incredibly impressive.
Well, so I mean, before I move on, because I kind of skipped over this, going from Gary Vaynerchuk, or going from Chris Pirillo, which was supposed to be my segue, into the Gary Vaynerchuk piece, into Nicole Smartt.
I was curious about that.
Yeah, so Gary Vaynerchuk over the weekend, we were talking about haters and about seeing opportunities and problems, right? So he posted up on Facebook this, see if you can show my desktop. He said, I am so sad that someone would write a script or go to a forum and get 60 plus to agree to a negative review on the book in the last hour. And it's about his jab, 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 right hook that we're going to be reading. And this frustrated me a little bit.
I was also frustrated by this. I will be honest. I am a total Gary Vaynerchuk fan, as you guys probably all know by this point. If just by listening to my episode on the podcast where I talked about it for half an hour, you're probably pretty aware of this. However, I did not like this move because, I don't know, it seemed very like, woe is me, this guy was mean to me, I want to like mobilize my community to like go after them. Because now on that Amazon review where he left the link, there's a bunch of people saying, I don't know what your problem is, I don't know why you would say this. Like, he basically mobilized this attack unit towards this reviewer.
Yeah, and well, he's saying in the comments that he's not mad at a negative review. He said, I welcome all 1 stars, I love 1 stars, because that's what the reviewer gave him. But he said what he didn't like was that it felt like someone was gaming the system. I don't want to be like, isn't that what you just did?
There's one of them. How is he gaming the system? There's one 1-star review. It's not like there are 60 people who took that script and posted that review.
Yeah, but there were 60 people that liked it within an hour, found it helpful. Which
maybe 60 people really did. Not everybody's going to like your book.
So what bugged me about that, we're talking about haters and how to respond to them, and we're talking about every problem lies in opportunity. This is, the guy's talking about there's not enough actionable stuff in his book and jab, 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 right hook. This is an actionable item right here, just looking at what he does. This is something I learned from Allie Brown a long time ago. If you get a bad review, tell the people that love your brand over here, tell them, I have this bad review, it sucks. They'll all jump on the opportunity to support you and be there for you. And they'll all comment and do something in the opposite way. So what irritated me is that he did it on such a public scale on his Facebook page on Christmas. Like, this is a day, somebody commented on here, this is a day that you see people in your news feed saying, I wish my husband was here, or I miss this person. And then in the middle, look at this negative review, come and help me, kind of a plea. And it was just like, he said, the guy in the comments said, you're king of context. This is out of context. Why were you doing this? And what bugged me is that he never responded to that. He might have, I shouldn't say that. He might have responded to his comment now, but he didn't say anything in the public and say, sorry guys, that was my bad, on Facebook. He just kind of skipped over it. So I wanted to bring that up as a headline, something that's happening now, and I wanted to get your take on it because you're a big fan of his.
I didn't like it. I think of the 163 reviews he has and the pretty regular reviews he gets, and that's just on Amazon. That's not people who have blogged about it or vlogged about it or done podcasts about it, like me. This didn't need to happen then, and it didn't need to happen really at all. And Corey made a comment. She said, I saw this thing as a quote, if you're going to be a jerk, you should be ready to be written about. And I love that. And so I blog my hate mail. The difference is with just blogging about it or just talking about it in that kind of context is different than Christmas afternoon posting a woe is me. Like you said, like it just didn't make sense. And it doesn't have his voice. Like, it doesn't feel like Gary Vaynerchuk to me.
It was very opportunistic. I was thinking Christmas Day, everyone has their Kindles, like new Kindles that they're going to buy books on. What's a way that I could really catch people's attention? And it was effective in that sense. He had how many comments on it now? Let me look. He has 212 plus people liking the post, and then he has over 420 comments on the post. So it was an effective thing to put out on Christmas Day if you're trying to sell copies of your book. But like you said, it didn't feel like him, and there were so many things that, we're talking about haters and opportunity out of problems. It just really fit the bill, in my opinion. So let's end this on a high note. One of your last people that you picked up was Erin Condren, and she's the founder of ErinCondren.com, stationery, life planners, luggage, all sorts of really fun stuff to make your life more organized. So why did you pick Erin Condren?
Well, I liked the Erin Condren episode so much, I bought a life planner for my business in 2014. That's where all my goals are going. I really liked her as an example of a really good personal brand. She's got such a great job of, it's definitely her personality. She's definitely the face of it. But with that, she has a private life. She has her kids that are, out to an extent, but not, completely. She does a really good job of balancing being the face of her company and maintaining her privacy. And I think that's something that's difficult. And she said something that I say all the time, and I said in my podcast episode about personal branding, which is deciding where your line is, deciding where your comfort zone is, and then not going beyond that.
Yeah, deciding where your comfort zone is. I think on that, I think on the flip side, one of the things that's been irritating me lately, and I think I talked about this last Friday, was the idea that people are coming out and saying no, women. This has been a common thing for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Women need to be more comfortable with saying no. And I'm on the flip side, women need to be more comfortable saying yes. We need to say yes to more opportunities, at least personally for me. I don't want to, there's some of you guys that are way more successful than I am and that you know what you want to do and you're very confident in everything. But me at 28 years old, I want to say yes to as many opportunities that come my way right now just to see what it is that I truly am passionate about, where it is that I can best serve and that type of a thing. But that could be totally different for other people. So I'm still at the point where I'm testing where my comfort zone is. I don't know about you.
For me, that line is not about my comfort zone and allowing my life to be exposed. And I think this will probably be the same for you, but it's a matter of my son and my family.
Okay.
So that for me is where I draw my line. You'll see him a little bit, but you won't see him extensively. Like everything is not about my kid. So that's what it is. I agree with you though. One of my things, and I've said this before, in 2014 is I want to be uncomfortable like the whole year. I am spending the entire year pushing myself just a little further. That's something I did in 2013. I made really big investments in myself and my company this year. I launched stuff I never thought I'd launch, like a product.
Pictures of it.
And
it was fun that you cataloged everything. We got to see it on Instagram. I love Instagram because of that.
Yeah. So that's my goal for 2014 is to make myself super uncomfortable the whole year, which sounds really counterintuitive, but I agree with you. We do need to say yes more. But on the flip side of that, we need to be aware of our priorities. So like I don't say no if it's going to mean I'm going to lose massive amounts of time with my family. But on the flip side of that, if it's just a matter of, I don't know about this, it makes me a little nervous, then no, it's a yes. Or else I wouldn't be doing a web show with Corey next year. I wouldn't be co-hosting this show because when I started doing this, that made me incredibly nervous. So yeah, I think that you have to sort of say yes more.
So let's talk about, or let's play that clip from Erin Condren. It's a quote of hers about, we asked her what her advice for aspiring YFEs would be who are just getting started. And let's end on that note.
Boy, it's a tough road. It is not something for the weak, that is for sure. You need to probably, like I said, not sleep as much as other people do. I mean, when you think about how I started this when my babies were so little, and the doctor would even say, or my mom would even say, the minute the kids go down for a nap, you've got to get your rest. That's when you need to get your rest. And that really wasn't an option for me as the business was growing. They would go down and I'd madly print in my office. I'd put them down at night and same thing. I'd work till midnight. So I just think that you have to, let your passion fuel your commitment and your dedication, and don't ever let go. I mean, I really haven't. There's been times in this business that were so tough. And I remember the days when working from home and my mom would come in and I was in tears saying, I don't think I can get all these orders out and I think I'm going to disappoint people. And my mom, it's a funny story, I remember her rubbing my back saying, oh honey, let's shut down this website. Your mental health is more important than all these orders. And then my husband comes in and looks at the dollar amount and goes, oh, hold on a minute. Maybe you just need to relax, or let me bring you a piece of pie, or whatever it was. And so I think it's just knowing that it's hard. It's not always easy, and it still isn't. But it's a fun journey if you make it one. But it requires never-ending endurance and commitment.
So my favorite line, Stacey, from that piece was, let your passion fuel your commitment and dedication, and don't ever let go. I really took something away from that, because there is plenty of times of young female entrepreneurs where we're like, why are we putting ourselves through this?
Yeah, definitely.
So, Stacey, I wanted to thank you so much for being my co-host in 2013. You've done a lot of episodes with me, and it's been so much fun. It's a noticeable difference when you're not here. The energy in the room fades just a little bit, and so I'm excited in the new year to have you be part of it, especially with pink hair. I feel like everything's going to be amped up.
Thank you. Thank you for
11.
letting me be part of this awesome, I love that, this awesome community, and co-host with you every week and chat with everybody who's here. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. I have so much fun doing this and being a part of this community, so I am so excited to be here.
Well, thank you. All right, everyone. So you've just been talking with myself, Jennifer Donogh, and at the Stacey Harris. Make sure that you find Stacey at thestaceyharris.com and check out her Hit the Mic podcast. Love Stacey, love everything that she's doing, and I'm so grateful for all of you that have been watching YFE Chat, that have participated in a YFE event, that have been a city coordinator. 2013 has been an incredible year, and I'm so grateful to have you be part of it. Looking forward to 2014. Remember, we don't have any shows next week, but make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we will have some daily videos coming out, and they're going to be fun. So youtube.com/YF Entrepreneur to subscribe to that, and of course our mailing list, YFE.me/mailed it. It's a great way to keep in the loop with all of us. This has been Jennifer Donogh, episode 92 of YFE Chat Live. Thank you so much for watching.